Recording?
Yep.
You can move the camera at some point if you want.
Yeah, I guess we'll have some close-ups
Yeah.
and stuff. But yeah, I guess before going, how to get this here. It's good. No, actually, like, I don't know how it is for you in this process, but like I said about card making, right? Like I do this once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's not that I'm used to it, but I have, like ways to get into this like really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know like about the card, but like I do maps. So maps, maps are easy for me to navigate.
Yeah. How long were you doing this? An hour and a half, 2 hours?
2 hours. We said 2 hours, and also during that process, I don't know. I mean, my idea and my intention, also I keep it for myself, was to not do something more, but just focus on that.
Yeah.
So, for example, you were doing some admin. I thought at some point to suggest something, but I felt like let's just wait until now.
Okay.
Because at this point, then, for instance, like if in your process you need to do certain things for your process, then you do it.
Yeah.
Well,
actually, yeah, I thought about it. There was, I think there were a few moments I was, like writing some emails and stuff, and that's when, that was my break, basically.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I need to
do something else.
do something else. Basically.
Yeah, no. So because at the beginning I thought like to put you in that constraint that works for me.
Yeah.
But it is you need a different one. So the idea is in these 2 hours we are working on this.
Yeah.
So and then you need to do it in a certain way that is your time. But then at the end that normally you will be sharing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I think I ate too much.
Yeah, me too. Yes, at the beginning, especially I was not feeling this thing. Like I was like, what is happening? First, like all the energy that was in my stomach.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of fish, like a lot. I think
that's with oil, so I mean like the fried one, right?
Yeah, and also it's not only fish, it's all the put it on top of that. I eat fish, chicken, and meat. I ate the three of them.
I was mainly eating the beef and chicken.
Yeah,
but beef actually, I think that was the best. From last time, I remember that.
Yeah, for me the beef is like, I don't know, like for me like the fish works, but it just stays crunchy. Once I start mixing it with the sauces.
No, that's
yeah.
Okay, so I guess that's good. So if we check in. Yeah, but also like I was reflecting now I have kind of way of making cards, but I think at first I really struggled like in the past because there's so many like I call metadata, like if it's card, it can be like little things like year, what to tag, and all these like things that go crazy. But then like if I start doing all these, defining these things, adding one new thing becomes such a burden. Because you have to set all these metadata. It's like back in the days when you're importing CDs.
Yes.
And if you're like OCD, you just have to go crazy on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so like I was like thinking, okay, I should like do it fluid, and and in the end I kind of made my way of like I can talk about it later, but I'm quite happy with the way I organize things.
You want to share something else specifically about the content? Or?
Yeah, I mean it's actually like it's just text, but it's quite visual because I had this idea of like in the end like put some colors. Basically this is like actually it's based on Magic the Gathering.
It's about what?
Magic the Gathering. It's like it's playing cards, like collectible playing cards. Like Pokemon cards.
Like Magic.
Yeah, Magic.
Magic. Yeah, I played that with my brothers.
Yeah,
of course. Like so, then you have the remember.
Yeah, because like I thought like okay, initially I thought about, for example, like elements or personas, and then add this, what is it related to, like cyberfeminism or I don't know, like fear of.
I'm paying attention, but so I will put something as well.
Yeah. So, and then like I started like thinking like because we have a lot in the menu, like a lot actually, but I think there is some kind of like different categories. So I try to like map it, like not explicitly, but trying to think like, is this fear related to like red, like fire, or is it like blue, based on the colors from Magic, basically. And then it became easy, like looking at these like. So I have these personas and then like kind of feelings. I didn't put emotion, but it's like more like feelings and elements from the menu. And the last one, like elements or like actions from the performance we did. I listed, like things like in and out, or like specific like this camera, or the choreography. These things I listed before. So basically, I was tagging them, but not to the fear, but to the color. So they're kind of.
I think I didn't follow the last.
So that's why it's like really visual. So it's easy to follow it this way. So basically, these ones are like taken from the menu, right? You're familiar with.
Yes.
Or is more or less.
Yeah. This
and I tried group them by the color, not really like is this and this related. It's not so much that I thought like that.
Yeah.
But, just put them colors and then like group them. And I did the same process with, what...
By idea, so you separated by idea somehow in your head?
Yeah, like kind of like the type. But I didn't really set what it is. But it kind of like emerged through doing this.
Yeah.
So for example, like in like the red, I put like ancestry, animate. Actually, I don't remember about animated. Kinesphere, pulse, trust, fear, disconnection from family. So it's something like with like affection or like family. And then blue is more like, cyberfeminism, more like a machine, machines.
Yes.
Yellow is more like something simple, like failure, austerity, genuine feelings.
How can you help me to expand a little bit on this simple? How you see this yellow simple?
Or simple, or like something like...
not filtered?
Let's say, something like this.
Okay.
Like identity is a little bit blurry.
Yeah, but you cannot contain that, like that's something that it has to.
No, I mean, I was like doing this quick also, like, but going with the expression,
Yeah.
Green, a little bit, green, metastability against consumerism. I don't know about this in Spanish. I will, it's more like blue, but like in Magic also.
What is the blue?
It was like a machine or like.
Okay, like the
I think it's like wisdom, but
okay.
I don't want to be too explicit about this,
Okay.
but in the end, it's clear that it's like machine or like something, like wisdom.
Yeah.
And black, like toxin was like really like, a good one to put in the black. Fear of death. I mean, I would say death is black, but fear of death is it. But uncertainty, let's say, it's like black. Yeah, I would say black.
Okay.
So this is the kind of like way I did it, and also I did the same with like this is like the different characters I made that I just trying to see like what I can be on the stage.
But also that's interesting because if something happens, we have a question, then we can say like what the nerd will think, what the nerd will do in this situation.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
So also like what I found interesting is like I have more than 10 characters, and then I thought like feelings. I was not emotions, but like
the feelings that were coming through the characters.
So this is something I noticed is like for me, I think if you're acting, probably you can do something like sad nerd or happy mom. But for me, it's hard to like relate this. Like to me, this emotion or feelings contain a lot already, and that's something for myself. Like it's when I choose a character of me, and then I can access through this. But if I'm mom or if I'm cult guru, I would just commit to this cult guru. Like I would not think about feelings because that's already
he's in the character.
Exactly. So I see it kind of like in the same level.
And then and the elements is just you mentioned earlier, and I understood that sorcery. So what is sorcery?
Sorcery, well, I just mapped to magic, right? These are the one what I observed in the performance.
What
And
you
I
like
listened-
notes from the performance that you have, or what?
But I did explicitly for Danny's the exercise of making cards before I did.
So I think I did know that because I was in PAF. What was the exercise?
Well, to make cards and you make map. So from by watching the performance.
While watching the
In
performance,
February,
doing what?
and then you make the map, and then you make the map from the performance. And I forgot explicitly how she framed it, but the exercise I did is to go through the 1 hour video
Yes.
and pick the elements I pick up from the performance, like for example, like the computer or in and out, Hydra.
So just things that resonate for you, like a kind of note,
Resonate, yeah.
and then you put it in the form of a card.
That was my idea.
Yeah, okay.
And initially, I think the way
Right.
Danny said is, like to connect this to the menu, right? Like fear of something, for example.
Yeah.
I think that was the.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because that's still something that I think I should do.
Yeah, but I mean, we're there to.
Yeah, but I would like to do because I did know that I forgot about it.
But then, like, I found it's so hard. Like, if I look at the camera and is it connected to fear of this and that? Is it this fear, that fear? But then, as soon as I started making these colors, it's easy to access because then I don't have to think about what fear is it or what against this or that policy. But instead, I just think that this is related to blue color, this is related to yellow color, and then they come back together. I don't know if that's clear. But
No, sorry, I did. Wait, you meant like performance. So I just put it with that. Performance. Do homework, do performance. Yes. Yes, can you repeat what you said? Sorry.
maybe I rephrase it for myself. But so I did this exercise of mapping the menu to the color, right? I just said this is from the menu, like it's from the menu, and because I did this already.
Based on the performance.
No, this is not the performance. This is conversation with Danny, like trust, kinosphere, ancestry. This is the things that we talked about. And
And then you map them to the color.
Yeah. So I already have this knowledge.
Yeah.
And then when I look at, for example, what much is too much? Is it? Then instead of thinking about going back to the menu, I already have this kind of blurry, colors like palette. So I just take this color instead of saying this is related to ancestry.
Okay. This is especially, I think this is useful. Do you mind them to expand on this, as a work if you can for tomorrow, especially the way how you structure the colors, just to expand a little bit in the text, so then I can access that? Because you have it in your head.
Yeah, I can try. I mean, this is like. Yeah, I can try. Or I don't know. Is it better to For me, it's better to talk. But if you want to me to. But I mean, let's see.
Yeah, but the thing is, it seems useful for me to keep on doing my exercise.
Which we continue this, yeah.
Yeah. So then I think.
Or maybe then I will just continue on this tomorrow when we do it.
Okay.
To write.
Yeah. We need to work on this.
Yeah.
It's fine. Okay, but I just put it into the videos. I want to use it.
Yeah.
How to expand on. Basically, I see this as a readme kind of thing. It's a readme file. It's a readme.
Readme.
It's a readme, yeah. Readme colors. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. We applied. Yeah.
So that's that. Now it's easier for me to navigate, and then I can think okay, maybe if I think about mom, maybe I can think about ancestry, trust, and then also maybe this would fit with my mom. I mean, it's kind of guideline, right? Also I can make something contrasting as well.
Interesting. Yeah.
I
think I will go so far in trying to understand the content because maybe it's not relevant right now. I mean the content of what you did.
Yeah.
But then I think I can see there's a lot of potential with it, especially when we are on the practice and trying choreographies, strategies.
Yeah.
That are clear for both.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for that. Very useful.
Thanks.
So, then for me, maybe we can put the camera to point this direction.
I can be the camera person. Just a second.
We can just put it in on the stand here.
Yeah. But also it has some kind of like a digital stabilizer, so...
You can just put it here.
Okay.
These channels with two ends?
Actually, I can just bring it, yeah.
Channels with two ends? Channel.
Yes.
Two ends. Channel. So I started from, I guess, like from grief. It's in the center.
Right.
And then from grief I moved to consent. From grief, grief and consent. These two topics that, as I said, like is quite present in my days.
Mm-hmm.
And then from grief I start moving then to the menu, and then I see, okay, there is fear and trust. And there is like the opposite of fear for me seems trust. So this is something that is very much at the center. And then, I start from a wave. So this was just a wave. It was from a feeling of just doing something. And now I see that, so this is a channel. This is abstractions from information theory. So this is a channel. And then now that you're mentioning magic, since it goes back to what I was in Dortmund. This is like the sigil somehow, like these are part of the sigil, the magic, where the magic is happening, transportation between what happens and what is on our heads, in this case I guess. So from thought to body. Then this is something that is also relevant for me these days. This is part of, we wrote together this with Danny. So Danny, if you're watching this, I didn't throw this paper. I found it. We did it with this guy, Inigo, that he's some, it's an important person. He was in PAF. Anyway, so he was doing a workshop, and we did this together with other people. It was about ignorance, understanding ignorance from an academic perspective. It was very interesting. Especially because we really start positioning that from a perspective of capitalism, and not really fast into patriarchy and other things that are very that are mirroring this very much, consent and grief. So it has its own dynamics. Then from here, I start from the way how I guess I used the colors was in relation to the, what was it? So I said so the yellow, so I start from Abuelita, but it was because it was connected to grief, literally. And then from there I started using, before the menu, the overlap. So what it was overlapping for both. So then it was cyberfeminism, ancestry, death health, online space, of course fear and trust were there. And then I start moving, so the yellow are this space, these overlapping places. I also put the online space as kind of that's my feeling, that is like if there is a dominant topic somehow. This grief is something that is more internal, but something that is more a form, external. I think is the online space as an analogy.
Okay.
And this comes from the menu, no? So the online space, why? Because it's a place where we, but also other ones, are less concerned of how to behave. Because of that, then people feel more at ease, and therefore can be honest / close to one true self. In that sense, it's like that space of radical liberation.
It can be toxic.
Can be, yeah.
Interesting.
Move like no one is watching in terms of movement.
When you say online space, are you talking about yourself or online in general?
No, like in general, like I see it as an individual, but also collective.
Right.
Like what is an online space, and could be it as Instagram, but I guess that we can define that more, situate that more. But for me, like to be honest, literally the space that I saw, but I didn't put there, is a Zoom call, like or like the idea of a video call. So,
yeah, because when you say online space, I said toxic because I immediately think about social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't say this per se is that because I'm not attaching anything at this point like it's good or wrong, but so I understand where it's come from.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is like when I say online space, what it refers like a Zoom call. Like
that
what
makes
like
sense.
yeah, and then how people, you can be just you put if you're in a business call, you can be a business call from here to up and naked. So it's like you're close to being.
What do you do?
Like, but then at the same time you're performing, right?
Yeah.
Doing a thing.
In the pixels.
Yeah.
Like, it's really staged.
Yes.
Cool.
So yeah, that, and then I guess the idea with this is more close to verbs or actions or how to move the body, how to these colors were coming from the pink here. So like basically forget of these two, but this is about like we said like the pink is to work the blue ones were the options like in this in the menu, and the pinks are things that we need to work on. And then so from that point of view I see like so these are the options if you want. These are things that are options or things concrete, and this is how we deal with the options, how we work on misuse or empathy. Sorry, the other way around. How we work through cyberfeminism or ancestry or death or health is through empathy. So especially say this space is like the machine. So how we trust misuse, so we misuse the machine. So the machine isn't I'm getting lost, but yeah. So I guess the idea of this is like these are verbs somehow. These are like how we do in action something in relation to these topics or this topic or this topic. Things that they are there all the time. You can see it as a problem or as a. That's why also they're here. It's something that we cannot move away. Like this they can move, but this cannot be moved. So these are a way to tackle that problem, and also from that perspective, a way how the body can become that source of tackling the problem of the machine or the disconnection. This was about the other. I think something that is very dominant is like the other, and then the other can be the audience, technicians, family, but there are others. Also like other beings, computers or other elements.
It can be each other.
Can be with the other. We spoke a lot of this fear of the other, and in that relation, I think it's important to start understanding consent and how important it's like to consent things. I think in one direct ways with the other. I mean, say like with you or with me in that space or with Robbie, but also in general, like for instance, like the machine. Does the machine now that it's overheat wants to put another project on? Like to start like understanding how this consent can be a tool to understand the other and to not imposing without taking into account what, for instance, the machines want to say at some point, or what the audience want to say without saying something. So I think that was for me, and in terms of here. Like so, I'm here in the pause. So I'm still like, I'm here. I just did this in the beginning, and I'm just here in the pause.
Yeah.
I still need to do this.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have the whole week. So I think that's why for me it would be useful, like then to have some of like the tools that you were
I see.
then to start like using.
Yeah. Something I know that we just started. Something for me, what interests me is for you to like, also map. It doesn't have to be mapped here, but like where are these like ideas come from, and I'm not so interested in like as a reference, but I mean it is a reference, but not in an academic reference idea, but like how did you got to know this? Like what is the story to like reach to this keyword? I mean these ones I know, right? I mean because these ones were we talked about, but there are some things that you arrived and you shared with me already, but maybe it's something to be a bit conscious, so that because actually I don't know much about it, but you shared about that, but it's not that you explained it to me much. I mean you did kind of, but just saying also that map as well.
Yeah, this is a bit more entangled in it.
I mean this is also concrete, but yeah. Because if you didn't say it,
this was Danny, by the way. So, and I also like, because I remember like Ocean is very similar. She has this way of putting. So we were 5 people, and she was just like putting this into. This is her translation of a conversation of 5 people.
Okay.
All right. So yes, I take the note on that.
Yeah.
And then find strategies how to do that. And would be good if you have access to a printer, to be honest.
I'm going to close it now.
Yes.
Thanks for watching.